Please give me Frederico.
So this guy, has dreams and stuff like that, but he wants to be able to protect himself and he wants to be able to fight. You see in his corner Mariano Gomez and TJ Sanchez. And, if he's trained out of American top team, you better believe he's going to be well schooled. It's his debut fight, so we have no idea what to expect. We haven't seen him. I've never, it's his debut, so it looks like this is an MMA fight, correct? Yeah, so we've got an MMA fight. We got the second MMA fight of the night, so I'm excited to see this. And he wrestled in high school, though, so I think that's something that could be a big deciding factor. Right there is high school wrestling definitely is going to play a factor into this. I mean, he's been on the mats, combat sports for a little while, and we're going to see what we get.
Please give me Carlos.
An AME record of 1-0 so far. Outside of the fighting, he's a personal transporter.
What is that?
Yeah, exactly.
I guess none of your business, like his favorite submission combo. No, but this guy, coming in, he's undefeated. He's a more experienced guy. I mean, it might not say, okay, it's only one fight versus debut, but that one fight, you learn a lot. I think you learn more in your first MMA fight than you'll ever learn in any fight in your career. It's the one that finds out who you are.
Although it is his debut, he is a silver and bronze in the South American Championships of Shotokan Karate.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see that style, that karate style. And that's something we've been seeing with guys like Steve Wonderboy Thompson. Leona Machida is one of the first ones to do it, to bring that karate style to MMA, and it's been super effective to guys that use it properly. Now, we've got to see the level that he has it, because we've also seen karate guys come in there that have their hands low and they're throwing kicks and they get absolutely rocked. So we got to see the level of it. But if he's 1-0, then he's used it before. He must have done something right to get that W.
Oh yeah, Rodriguez says that he's fighting for the Rodriguez family and to represent the karate legacy, so we're definitely going to see some of that tonight.
Oh, and one person you see in this corner that is going to solidify who this guy is you see Randy Venezuela Barroso. Randy Barroso is one of the top kickboxers ever to come out of South Florida and represent Venezuela, so if he's going to be schooled under Randy, then you better believe this guy's kickboxing is going to be legit. Over to Alto.
And our 10th bout of the evening is a 135-pound MMA bout sponsored by Solid Gold, which is also the host of the official after party, sanctioned by Global Fighting Solutions, brought to you by World Class Combat Sports in conjunction with XFN. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is 18 years old and stands at 5 foot 8 inches tall. Weighing in at 135 pounds on the dot in his MMA debut from ATT Baga, from Western Florida, Frederico the Pitbull Valbuena. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, is 26 years old and stands at 5 foot 7 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 133 pounds and has a record of 1 win, 0 losses. Fighting out of ATT Aventura from Caracas, Venezuela, Carlos the Tasmanian Tiger Rodriguez. And the third man in the cage is Ray Ramos.
Here we go, Carlos Rodriguez versus Frederico Valbuena. Two guys, one guy, Frederico, making his debut, undefeated. Carlos Rodriguez, 1-0, representing American top team Aventura. This is one of the first times I've actually seen 2 American top teams going at it, so that's how you got to know. I mean, there's so many good gyms now in this area that sometimes the top guys, they got to start fighting each other. Baga versus Randy Barroso.
Carlos, you see that instantly, the karate style. Oh, with the head kick.
Damn, these boys getting after it too.
Both landing big shots in that first exchange.
finally we get to see some jiu-jitsu here.
Carlos Rodriguez looking for a
That leg
straight
lock,
ankle
though.
lock.
That
it
leg
looks
lock,
like.
though.
Yeah, his leg's in a dangerous position right now. He's staying committed to it.
Oof, he's rolling.
Oh, he's going for that straight ankle lock hard right now.
Oh, that's gonna
He's
hurt.
looking to break his ankle right now.
You hear Frederico's corner telling him to punch, and that's the answer, honestly. If it's very hard, you got to break the legs, but if he breaks the legs and punches, then he's in a dominant position. And honestly, Carlos is using a lot of energy on this leg lock. It's exhausting squeezing those submissions and not getting them.
Not only that, is look with these shin guards on, it's going to be so hard to finish a straight ankle lock.
Yeah.
It just adds that little extra protection.
That's
So
a good point. I didn't even think of that.
He's smart here to look for the sweep, and now it looks like he's trying for maybe a reverse triangle.
Ooh, this looks like he's starting to lock it up.
Carlos has slick jiu-jitsu. Going from submission to submission. I don't think I've ever seen a straight ankle lock to a reverse, reverse back triangle there.
Yeah, this is some high-level stuff, and that's what I'm saying. Both these guys well schooled out of American top team gyms, and these guys, man, they're showing some high level. I mean, he has a inverted Kimura on the top. I think he should probably get his hooks in here and look for the rear naked choke at this point. What do you think, Jillian?
It's just going to be a little bit hard with that other leg over the side. Maybe the transition to an armbar, but he looks, oh, there he goes, exactly what I just said.
Jillian's specialty, armbars.
Going belling down with that armbar finish. The coach calling for a slam.
Yeah, that's the way to get out of an armbar sometimes. When all options are gone, then you got to slam him, but he's fighting for that armbar. Frederico's fighting out of it very hard, but it looks like he's burning his arm out. The problem is his arm is completely isolated. Carlos has his arm isolated. When that happens, it usually can burn out your arm. He might be able to hold it for a couple seconds, but as he's breaking the grip right here, his arm's getting weaker and weaker by the second.
Oh, Carlos looks like he might, he's fighting for the extension of the arm there, and he looks like he's really close to getting it.
Frederico's doing a great job of hanging on. I mean, it's Carlos's entire body across Frederico's one arm, and Frederico's one arm is hanging on for dear life. Oh, he adds a little punch in there, but he loses the grip right there. And Frederico passing.
Beautiful defense by Frederico. Now in top half guard, looking to do damage.
Yeah, for sure.
Frederico that's it, just looking to do damage. Corner just screaming, just punch, just punch.
That was an amazing first round. That was definitely the best MMA round we've seen tonight. That was really special. Both
Carlos
these guys.
just a technician on the ground.
Absolutely. But, man, the thing about Frederico is that, you know, unless you have a submission where it's willing to break or put someone to sleep, you don't have to tap to it. It might hurt. I'm sure his ankle's going to hurt tonight when he goes to bed. But, you know, if he goes to bed with the win, then sometimes it's worth it.
Break the ankle as long as I get my hand raised. That's all that matters.
You got to be able to break with these submissions at this level. In the gym, most guys would have tapped to that ankle lock, and that's the difference. That's where the experience factor comes in. When you get these submissions, these work in the gym. Like, guys will just tap to that. But in a fight where someone's fighting for the W, it's not easy to get those quick, easy taps in this ankle lock. So that's something that is going to come with experience. He's going to keep learning.
Again, some beautiful submissions.
That was sick.
Going from the ankle locks to the triangles, to the corner, to the armbar. Got a full toolbox there.
I'm impressed with Frederico, though. He's actually showed a lot of heart. He showed a lot of submission defense, and he's here to win.
Clean 1-2 from Carlos to start the second round. Using that karate footwork a little bit to go in and out.
Yeah, Carlos definitely looks like the more like seasoned, like composed, technical fighter, but there's something to be said about the heart of Frederico. That's what puts in a fight, and that's the history of fighting in general. Like, we've seen guys that are more technical lose to guys with more heart and, you know, determination, and that's what fighting is, and that's why we have these fights, and we get to witness them tonight.
Back to the action.
Good, back to the action. We see Carlos there working that jab and that karate, a little bit more of a wide stance, a little bit better balance, and he lands a nice solid jab and stumbles. Oof, good shot.
Has Frederico a little bit on spaghetti legs there. 2 clean shots in a row back to back. And Frederico a little bit desperate with the shot.
Yeah, that's the advantage of that karate style. When you do land the shots, they're like clean and precise. Like almost get that Conor McGregor style, which is a clean shot, good sprawl there. We got to see some wrestling of Frederico right now. That's his specialty. He wrestled in high school and it's where he's strong. So if he can get this takedown, he'll be in a good position, but great defense there by Carlos.
Carlos just looking like a veteran here. Oh.
Yeah, Carlos looks like a professional fighter here. He's experienced, he's strong, he's in good shape. He's very well-rounded. He's solid submission offense. Good stance in his karate style, and I like what I'm seeing. He's well-schooled.
Great at maintaining distance, just that in and out, and it definitely is because of the karate style. The stance that he's using just makes his movement that much faster, but it's just beautiful, the distance management that he's keeping currently.
Ooh, good straight shot down the middle, those uppercuts. That's one thing you don't see a lot in the amateurs that's underutilized, and it comes with experience, is uppercuts. They're the most devastating punches, I think, of all. Great sprawl, there's the uppercut again.
Frederico just taking shots from a little bit too far out, and Carlos is just able to see them and read them and time it easily.
Yeah, this is where the technique starts coming in. Like, you know, we're halfway through the fight, and like in the beginning, like anybody can hang with anybody. I feel like sometimes like it's just like toughness and power, and it lasts. But toughness goes away when the techniques and the shots start landing, and it starts like rattling those shots down your spine right there, and he wobbles them again. So now we're seeing Frederico resort to what he's best at, is wrestling, and that's usually what happens when guys start getting tired. They go back to what they know and what they've done their whole life and what their cardio is best at. So Carlos, on the other hand, is doing a great job of landing good shots. He's sprawling off the thing.
Hard shots from Carlos there against the wall.
This is also one of those high-paced fights. It's on the feet, on the ground, wrestling, defense, sprawls. Like these are all really high-paced fights tonight. It's impressive.
Another clean right hand by Carlos.
Frederico wins his first solid combination on Carlos. And I really like, you see the stare down at the end of the round.
Intense. Gosh, Carlos walking all the way back to his corner, not breaking that eye contact.
You gotta love it. You see the karate style here by Carlos. Feinting that jab, and doubles up on it. Lands a hard jab down the middle and stuns Frederico. Frederico going for those wrestling, going for his specialty, going for those shots. But you know, it's difficult when you get a guy that knows how to defend like Carlos does. I mean, Carlos looks like a seasoned professional right now. He's doing everything right. We saw his jiu-jitsu solid, his takedown defense is solid, good on the feet. He's intense, but you know, this is where he's working out the kinks in his career. This is where he's finding out he got to dig deep and find out if he can keep up this pace against a guy that is so tough like Frederico, a guy that's not willing to go away. Luckily, the doctors had a good job tonight. There hasn't been too many cuts, too much blood yet, so I feel like I might have jinxed something. Tonight we're just gonna see something crazy happen, but it looks like good.
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, and some people want to see blood, but I'm good with it right now. I just want to see you guys be healthy. Some guys too, they're too tough for their own good. I mean, I'm like that in my career. Like, you're fighting your ass off, and just like these guys are willing to fight to the death. But that's what makes a great fighter. So Frederico has the heart of the lion. No doubt about it.
Carlos smiling for this third round.
He's ready. Those smiles help with the stamina. I promise you that. Good uppercut, barely misses.
Nice again. Frederico knows he needs this round. He's just coming forward now.
Ooh, spinning head kick, barely misses by Carlos. Is that karate? One thing I would like to see by Carlos, good uppercut, beautiful. There we go, let's see some offense
Mixing
right
it up
here.
a little bit.
He said, let's keep my distance. Good single leg.
Nice single.
He has to watch his neck right here. Carlos is locking in the guillotine.
But Frederico's already in a side control, so he's safe.
Good job by Frederico. Good
Carlos looking
balance.
for a sweep there.
Nothing's happening.
Danger of getting Von Flute here if Frederico starts to look for it.
Good reversal by Carlos. Display his strength right there.
Frederico attached to that leg, though. He's not letting this fight get back up. He knows this fight is winnable when he's on the mat, and that's where he's going to keep it.
Yeah, I think Carlos wants to look to sweep here and get on top. The guillotine, that's one of the things that a lot of guys get a little greedy with, is the guillotine early in their careers, because it works against low-level guys. But when you start going against the guys that, you know, a little bit better, good wrestling, or that have seen it in the higher levels, those guillotines stop working, and then you're on the bottom, you know, just on your back. But
Frederico looking for the crucifix there for a second, just trying to let some strikes just do damage. Oh, there he goes for it again.
this is a super dominant position.
This is a super strong finishing position.
Yes, absolutely. This is a position that Frederico is down in this fight, but he could come back and get a big win here. The ref stepping in close. I know Carlos wants to keep fighting, but his corner is telling him to put it on, and Frederico is pouring it on right now in the final minutes of the third round of this fight.
Moves to mount with 1 minute left. He can do a lot of damage now.
Final minute of the final round.
The ref might look
Frederico
to
coming
stop
on
this.
strong.
The ref watching in close now.
Let's go. He has full mount position, pretty much the best position you can be in an MMA, and he's pushing. But Carlos is fighting. He's not giving up. He's on the bottom, but he needs to get Frederico off of him right now, because if the ref jumps in and stops his fight, those first 2 rounds don't mean nothing.
Frederico needs to pour everything into these. And Carlos replaces guard.
Good job. Good job. Good guard recovery by Carlos. Man, the heart by Frederico is really impressive, man. So I really like to see that third round come on and win the third round. He's always going to have his confidence knowing that if this fight was to the death, that he would win it.
Oh yeah, Frederico's a fighter at heart no matter what. You see that obviously in the third round. Just comes out dominant, trying to finish the fight the whole time.
Yeah, great point, Dylan. Hats off to these 2 warriors. We see the first minute of the third round. We see some good takedown defense by Carlos, something we saw the whole fight. Yeah, great takedown defense, good sprawls, but Frederico was relentless. Kept pushing, and was able to get that position and finally get him down in the third round. It looks like he won the third round. I would have to personally give the first 2 rounds to Carlos, third round to Frederico, but like I said, another tough night for the judges, because it's going to be up to them, and it's going to be their decision.
And at the end of 3 rounds, this fight has gone to the judges. And all 3 judges score the bout 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision out of the red corner, Carlos, the Tasmanian Tiger Rodriguez.